Holidays. Have you been on a holiday lately? Ups and downs and roundabouts of holidays. I'm gonna, over the next couple of weeks, tell you about my holiday and ups and downs, ambulance rides and all. So stay tuned, subscribe down below, and I will fill you in on my up and down holiday. So I feel like this video is only going to be day one. There was a lot that happened on day one. So for a start, I was up at 1:15. We had to catch a plane at 6 o'clock, but I was up at 1:15. So we didn't have to get up, I thought, until about 2:45. But I was, you're just terribly worried that you are not going to get up for that alarm and then you miss your flight and it becomes a bit of a drama at the start and probably costs you a lot of money to rebook flights and things like that to get on your holiday. So I was up at 1:15 and 2:15 I finally got up, and then the alarm went off later. Got up, did all the bits and pieces, turned off certain appliances and packed the last little bit of the car and got the family up and got going. So I'll jump forward to the airport. So we were all checked in and we got through security okay. And then we were sitting down at 5:30 in the morning, just having a little bit of food, and they call our flight. People start lining up and stand there for like half an hour. And I don't know the exact times, but then they call that there's something wrong with our plane and, just take your seats again and we'll let you know when we're ready. And then they jumped back on a few minutes later and said, it's a fuel leak. Now, I don't know. I didn't want to get on the plane. But later on when we hired the car, the guy who transferred us from the airport to the car hire company said, oh, that's such a common excuse that there's a fuel leak. So anyway, had a bit of food and got transferred over to another gate and another plane. And what was interesting was we sat down, we didn't stand in the queue, and then all of a sudden we get this final call at 7:15 in the morning, so an hour and 15 minutes after our plane should have taken off. We're like, we didn't even hear the first call. What happened? Please comment below. Tell me, do airlines have first calls, or do they just honestly do final calls to get people to hurry up and get to the gate? Because thinking back, I don't know whether I've ever heard like a first call or just a call. It's normally final call. So I'd be interested to know. I'd love it if you comment down below. So I got on the plane, got going. Then we landed about 9:30 in the morning. Got off, got organised, found our car hire company transfer, and hired the car. And then we're trying to put in my youngest seat, car seat, and we put it in the middle spot. And I thought that was a good spot to sort of break up the space for them, because we have a bigger car here than 5 seats. But a 5-seat is fine when we go on holidays. Anyway, he's like, no, I want to sit on the side. So we had to move the seat. So we're trying to get this seat off at the back of the seat. And the little safety switch that was there was not coming off. It took, I don't know, a good 20 minutes. And then I ended up using the seat belt to sort of push it over the little latch so that we could put it on the side. And then took the note, when we return this car, we need to allow a bit of extra time. So we got off and we had a beautiful lunch. I went to one of my favorite restaurants where there wasn't any up the coast. Oh, haven't mentioned that. We went to the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. So we flew into Brisbane and then we drove up to the Sunshine Coast and we stopped at a plaza and had a meal. And that was the only place up the Sunshine Coast of the restaurant I enjoy. So we had lunch at that favorite restaurant because that was the only time I was going to be able to have it on holiday. And then, so we kept driving up and we got to the hotel at about 2 o'clock, and check-in is not till 3. So we sort of potted around, and they actually did call us about 2:30 and say our room was free. So we went and checked out our room, which smelled terribly of bleach. But that's okay, you know, it was clean. We just opened some windows and the bleach smell was gone. And then went and got some of the local shopping that I had pre-arranged, which is always nice to fly into a place when you're sort of in the same country and grab that shopping that you've already arranged to be, you know, pre-picked for you. So you just have to pick it up. And then, so the kids, we just went and sort of jumped in the pool and had a look around for a local information centre, which was a bit annoying because the one that we went to was permanently closed. But we went back to the hotel and jumped in the pool, and my husband noticed that my top was like a bit discolored. My dark blue top was a bit discolored, like bleach. So it was ruined. The bleach that we smelt as we went into the apartment, I've obviously rubbed against the bathroom bench as we were walking into the bathroom, and obviously another child or someone was walking past me because we were checking out the whole apartment, and I've ruined one of my favorite tops. Oh well. And then so we had a couple of my kids went in the pool, and another one wanted to go across the road to the beach. So we went across to the beach, and I just sat down and watched him play in the water and make some sandcastles and things for a good half an hour or so. But I took off my thongs and left them high up on the beach and walked down and saw him, and, you know, had a little, and put my toes in the water. And then all of a sudden, this big wave came up and got to my thongs, and I find this thong coming towards me as I'm walking back sort of away from the water so that I didn't get, you know, the water too high up on my legs. And so that was another little thing for the day. I nearly lost a thong. So quite a few things on the first day that kind of went wrong. But what I want to say is ups and downs all through this holiday, but ups and downs of life. We have to take the good with the bad. We have to roll with things. I really learned to do that, particularly, you know, I suppose later in life, you just have so many ups and downs that you need to jump back up and get on with it and not worry too much about what's happened. So I just want to encourage everyone watching that, yeah, bad things happen, good things happen, and we do just need to keep going. So yeah, that was a big day. There wasn't too many other bad things that happened later on in the holiday. But again, I did mention that ambulance ride. We did have an ambulance ride. So yeah, hit the subscribe down below, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.